Thank you very much, Wolf. Despite his record disapproval ratings, the president is demanding comprehensive immigration reform. Will Congress deliver? Joining me now, Ed Rollins, former White House political director under President Reagan, Michael Goodwin, New York Daily News columnist, Miguel Perez, syndicated columnist with The Record in New Jersey. Good to have you all here. This is quite a situation. Miguel, what did you think of the president's performance?
I was happy with it.
You were?
I thought that finally the guy took a stand on immigration. I thought he'd been walking the fence for years, trying to play to both sides. This time he was more definitive. He actually said what I expected him to say for years, which is, look, we have to find some way to rationally legalize the people who are already here, the illegal immigrants who are already here. He had not said that. He had said always, I'm opposed to amnesty, I'm opposed to amnesty. This time he actually said there's a path.
Well, as we reported here, he actually 2 years ago said that he would not support amnesty and he would not support a pathway to citizenship for those who've broken the laws. Are you aghast at this change of direction, Michael?
Not really. I think the president is in trouble, and I think what's really interesting about it is I don't think his speech moved the needle at all. And I think that's a fascinating moment when the president of the United States gives a primetime address and really there's no impact from it. And clearly the Senate was going to do its voting anyway. The president was trying to create some momentum. Karl Rove, as you reported, went to the House Republicans today. Apparently was not well received, trying to push this measure. So I think it's kind of amazing that the president of the United States is so weak, even among his own party, that he can't get something that he has deemed so vital. I mean, a primetime address is a very big deal for a president.
It reminds me of Social Security. It reminds me of so many failed initiatives. Why is there such a disconnect? Let's move to this one and get your judgment, Ed.
First of all,
why is there such a disconnect?
He took sides in this battle, and no offense to your point of view, but the battle is between the House Republicans and the Senate, and he clearly took the Senate side, and the House Republicans are the ones that are entrenched. They're the ones who first put something forward. There's no compromising from their perspective, and equally as important, they've seen no olive branches from the Senate side. The House is the one that's very concerned about the elections this year, so I don't think there's any budging. I think the reality is as long as the majority of the majority rules in play, which means that the Speaker doesn't bring anything up unless there's a majority of Republicans support it, there's not going to be any action this year, and that may be a positive thing. The more important thing that I think's got exposed here is we do need to seal the borders. We all talk about that. We need to fund that. It can't be rhetoric. It can't be the National Guardsmen going there for 2 weeks. We have to ask the Border Patrol, what do they need to basically do the job?
Right.
And what it's going to cost.
It's interesting that apparently the White House didn't even ask the border state governors what they needed in regard to the National Guard. This smacks of such, if not desperation, expediency, and the suggestion that comprehensive immigration reform has to be passed by the Senate by Memorial Day. I mean,
but if it doesn't happen, what do we do? What are we saying then? We're saying basically, look, we're going to just sit around and keep these 12 million people who we don't know who they are, we don't know where they live, and then the argument, okay, we're not going to deport them. We can't. It's illogical to deport them. Okay, so what the argument is then is that we are going to starve them out of the country. I wouldn't do that to an animal.
I actually think there is an alternative, though, and that is I think enforcement. The president has lots of authority to already do lots of enforcement. If he were to do that, I think, and if the government really got serious about sealing the border, then I think this country would be ready for a conversation about the people who are already here. I think trying to do them together has become the problem.
But trying to do it all, that's the point that's critical. To try and rush legislation of this magnitude through in 90 days means it's going to fail. I would argue you can get one piece of it and you can come back in the next year or two and get the remaining piece, but you're not going to basically convince the public going out and making speeches to buy the whole thing.
Isn't there something completely and utterly idiotic about attaching urgency to immigration reform when this government has been ignoring the laws that are on the books, but
isn't national security a factor now? And if we're so concerned about national security, don't we want to give these people an incentive to come out of the shadow immediately so that we know who they are?
Here's the other part of that irrationality to me in this whole debate in Washington particularly. The American people have got this well figured out. But the idea that there is greater urgency to immigration reform because there are 12 million people or whatever the number is, no one really knows what the number is, could be as high as 20, who knows? but that there is some great urgency to get immigration reform for national security purposes. But there's no urgency to get the border secured 4.5 years after September 11th.
Oh, no, I think we need to get the border secured immediately, but I think we also have to deal with, the president said it, the president said we have to deal with both or there won't be anything. Right. We have to have comprehensive immigration reform, and that includes dealing with the people who are already here. Again, we're so worried about national security, let's deal with the people who we don't know who they are. We're so worried about terrorists.
But I think the public is basically for that. The public is for securing the borders and for some path to legalization. I think it's a question of timing and order. If you do the borders first, then I think it's a whole different conversation about legalization.
And there's also a northern border. I mean, we should not.
True.
And if we're going to secure the borders and make this a national security issue, you got to basically do both sides.
In both sides. The fact is, if the Mexican government cooperated as the Canadian government does with those borders, this would be a far simpler resolution.
You also
Miguel,
have the people who are coming in here and violating their visas.
Yeah. Everybody's covered now. We got the northern border, we got the visa overstays. We're completely fair and balanced here tonight. Miguel, thank you very much. Michael, thank you. Ed, thank you.
Thank you.
Still ahead here, the results of our poll. More of your thoughts. Stay with us.